Good evening, folks. So today we've got the Boxio versus the NGT Bivy Sink. We're trying to do a video to look at the comparison to see which one's right for you. And what I've learned having both for a brief while, a couple of months. I've had the Boxio for 2 summers and I've used it not as much as I wanted to because we've not camped. But when I have used it, it was brilliant. So the advantages you've got is you can have the leg, got the holes, so you could have a string, so you could leave it attached with the holes on the back here. Or see the back here? That's the sponge that I used to leave with it, the liquid. I got the shower attachment option, and obviously I had the sink plug, but I actually found that a pressure fit suction plug allowed me to actually use the basin area much better. And then obviously you've got the adjustable sink. All of this rotates independently, and then you've got the pump feature. So what you get is you get this box, and then you've got this top tray. And from this top tray, as you can see, you've got these 2 containers underneath, and this one has a little sticker here, and this one has the sticker here. So I made sure that I've got the sticker on both sides, so you can see this is your dirty and that this is your clean. The top tip I would say is, having learned from experience, if you think helpfully that you fill the clean water all the way up to the top, and you forget that maybe when you're washing up or rinsing things out and it all goes in the dirty water, it's going to increase in content compared to the clean. So you haven't run out of clean, but your dirty is full, and then it overflows. Now, it wasn't too bad to clean, but if it had been a really grim meal, it would have been a disaster. So I don't recommend filling up more than 2/3. So I now half fill, so I never have an overflow mode. As you can see, both of these have this. The clean has this pressure fit, and the, oh, have I got them the wrong way around? No, I've got them the wrong way around. So this is your dirty with the one, because you've got your push fit for your sink, and this is your clean, which is why it's got the information there and the other outside there. So, and this one is where your water fills in. Let me show you. So I now have some water in here, as you can see. So you don't need a water level because you've got the water clear there. It's now in the box, and this is why they go that way around, because you then take your sink attachment, and this one goes on your clean. Okay, and if you think there's any white film, that's because I live in a hard water area, and you attach it on. Now, if you don't have much water in, this next bit gets a bit more complicated. So you push your wires underneath, you push fit your sink there, and then you turn the knob on here so that, can you hear the difference? Undone, you can hear it hissing, and if I tighten it up, so you get a one direction in. It can take a while because it's near the bottom. There you go, that's because the tap's open. Tap's off. And if you want the hose, which uses the same thing as that, you then just, there's a push fit there, you pull it apart and then you put it in there. So it is that easy to swap over. I just wanted to make sure I have a good pressure. There we go. So that then can fit in there with the, okay. And as you can see, I can turn it on and I get quite a good, and then by using the pressure fit plug, okay, I get a good sink fill. And it's not in the way of where I want to do the washing up. So that's, and I will say, as you can hear it running, because the pressure fit, unless you fit it right, isn't the best, but it holds it enough. I'm going to let just that drain for the minute. That's the Boxio wash. And obviously when they've got water in them, they're a lot heavier. Okay, so size-wise, as you can see at the top versus at the bottom, this is much wider, but it's a bit shorter and narrower compared to the Boxio wash, because obviously there's the Boxio wash at the back. You can see it's a bit thing. Those two are brilliant if you've got the Boxio toilet and the Boxio wash. Obviously they go really, really well together. That is an asset. And then obviously you can see dimensions at the lower half. Oh, just to say what I'm talking about it, so it just connects in at the hose there. You unplug that one, you connect that one in. You've then got the adjustability with the spray, which is a slide. Should be able to see it in the light. The hose at the back. The downside is that doesn't really fit in there, so that you could, which would be a really good thing to consider, Boxio, having an attachment where you can just have a bracket where you then use that, and you then choose to use that as your spray, and then you can pull it off for a rinse. It's really good if you want to rinse things off, like, you know, shoes or something. That's what we've used it for, the time we used it. As I said, I've not used these as much as I wanted. This one isn't mine, it's a friend's. They've lent it to me for the purposes of the video. Not sponsored by anybody, so please like. My kids tell me off for forgetting that. Still new to this, still trying to do this. And then obviously this is a bit too tall for the video, so let's just go up. So as you can see, it's still got the new film on it, and I'm not taking that off because it's not mine. You've got a little shelf here, and then you get the USB tap, and you get this handy little tray which you can then put on the side. Oh, and well, before I block it, you've got this strap. My friend and I were talking, personally we would prefer the strap to have a buckle here, so you can then have it have a strap there, and then you can then unbuckle it when you don't want it in the way, and then buckle it back on. But anyway, let me put this in here. So it's a bit fiddly because also it's new, so it's not, there we go, that's that side in. But then when you've got it in, it's a really firm, if you've ever had any of the wrench monkey stuff, like my DIY toilet, you've seen that these work really well, these trays, and it is quite solid. You can hold quite a lot. I think they're missing a trick, because actually having a drainer tray the other side would be ideal. But hey, that's another thing. And then you get this top tray with a low profile plug. Again, if this was mine, I'd put a hole in here so I can put a little bit of cord so I can pull it up, waterproof cord, so I've got something to assist, because obviously I have finger issues with my ill health. As you know, I'm a wheelchair user. Then in this one you also have your black tank and green tank, and as you can see, you can't see in them, so which when you think your black tank is for your dirty, obviously, oh, it's got something in it. As I said, this is, friends got it. They've lent it to me for the purposes of the video because I've got my Boxio. We'll look up what that one is. Oh, it's a extendable. Didn't see that in the videos. And so you've got, obviously, the fat opening makes a really good way to rinse it out. So if you've got a small opening to exit it, and because it's low profile, it's at the bottom, and you've then got this big end. And I have to say, the Boxio bottles do have that issue that they're not very wide if you want to get in and clean it, and trying to empty them, you have to give it a bit of an extra rinse, and it is the same for both the toilet and the wash. Those are the same issues you have. So I'm going to put it like you're supposed to with the sorry, I've just noticed something here, and I haven't seen it talked about in any of the reviews. So so you've got an air pressure valve there. So I'm going to open that one up, and I think that must go on there. I definitely need to read the instructions on this then. Let me go do that.